Hi YouTube, welcome back. Day 2 of canning season. Stay tuned. So earlier I canned some papaya vanilla jam. Sorry I didn't get any of that on film, I was still in my pajamas. But I will link the recipe below. And it came out this gorgeous color. That is just beautiful. It only used one papaya though, and that was 12 cups of fruit from one papaya. I still have another papaya. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. But I got 11 half pints. These are all half pints, it's just they're different shapes. I got 11 half pints of papaya vanilla jam. And it tasted pretty good. But now it is time to start our fruit butter. I'm going to do a mixed fruit butter with mango, plums. I haven't decided on if I'm going to put any papaya in it or not. It depends on how much the mango and the plums fill it up. I also still have 3 jars of peach syrup from last year. It was supposed to be jam, but it never set. I reprocessed it, and it still never set. That was my only experience trying to use the low sugar pectin. Never had a problem with the regular sugar pectin. Some people swear by the low sugar stuff. I'm going to stick with the regular, I guess. But I actually prefer the fruit butters because you don't need any sugar, really. You could do it without. Some people like it with just a little bit of sugar in there. It depends on the fruit for me. Some is just so sweet it really doesn't need anything. But we're going to make some fruit butter. I'm going to use these 3 jars of the peach syrup, and which will give it a nice peach flavor because I don't have any peaches, but I think it'll go well, and it'll help use that up because we don't really eat pancakes very often, and when we do, no one wants to put peach syrup on it. The kids have kind of played with the peach syrup. That's why there's only 3 jars left, but we're going to get started with that. So we're going to move these out of the way and get chopping. Mangoes are really messy, so I didn't want to touch my camera with mango juice everywhere. I cut up 7 mangoes, and that looks like about half of what I'm going to need in the crock pot. I'm working on about 22 plums of various sizes. You know, a bit of a difference there. Some little, some big. I will let you know the final once I get everything in there. I'm not chopping very finely. I'm just making big chunks because I'm going to use an immersion blender. I'm going to let it cook down for a couple of hours, soften up, and then I will blend it, and then I will cook it down until it's ready to go, basically. And then if it's still chunky, I'll blend it again. This one I'm kind of winging it because fruit butters are more forgiving. You don't have to get anything to set, so you don't have to have a perfect ratio of pectin and sugar and all that. You don't even have to add sugar. So I'm just kind of filling it up. I still need to pour in the peach syrup. And I was thinking maybe a jar of blueberries.
Yes.
But I haven't decided yet. Jeremy's all for that idea.
Yes.
But I'm going to get this finished up, and then I will let you know the final of what all went in it. So my total was 7 mangoes and about 25 plums, although a lot of the plums were smaller. Now I'm going to cook it on high for a while, soften everything up. So in between canning projects for the day, come out to harvest whatever's in the garden. And guess what? The biggest tomato on my official competition plant is ripening. Now I'm going to cut it today just to make sure it doesn't get eaten or anything. Take a look. Let's go see how much it weighs. It is zeroed out. £1 pound, 1 ounce. So, I may not be the winner of the tomato grow up challenge, but this is one day's harvest. I'm a winner anyway. So our fruit butter is coming along nicely. I have let it go for hours. It was on high. It was starting to make a skin. So I turned it down to low and it's been blended and it's starting to thicken up. It's still got a little ways before it's going to be ready to can though. So in the meantime, we make salsa. Remember when I said I don't always do things the recommended way? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I wanted to make mango salsa that I wanted to can, and I wanted it to have tomatoes in it as well. Not very many recipes online for mango salsa. There was one that included tomatoes, but I don't think it was an approved recipe, and he didn't include amounts, which bugs me. If it doesn't include amounts, how do you know that it's got enough acidity in it? So I did find a approved recipe that is open to variety. I forget what they called it, but it's an official recipe for salsa that it does not include mango, but it's a generic recipe for any kind of peppers and onions, and it allows for 6 cups of the tomato, any kind of tomato, and then 9 cups combined of onions and peppers. I looked up the acidity of mangoes, and it is very similar to that of an onion. So I chose to replace some of that with mango. I'm going to keep my amounts at 9 cups, or less, because those are the least acidic things of it. So I've got 2 jalapenos, sadly not from my garden because my jalapenos have a Canadian. I've got 4 Jimmy Nardello peppers. These are from my garden. They're pretty good. A little thinner walled than I would have liked, but they're very tasty. And I'm going to cut these up, and then I'm going to cut up whatever I feel is an appropriate amount of onion to go with that amount of pepper. And I'm going to put it in the measuring cup as I dice, and then I'm going to dice up the mango and add it to that until I get to 9 cups. I've already measured out my tomato. They're chilling in there. Well, tomato and tomatillo. It's just a couple of tomatillos. I haven't had a lot from the garden, but it's about 7, I think, tomatillos. Mine are coming out pretty small compared to what they get in the grocery store. But that's what I'm doing, and the rest of it, I'm going to follow the recipe. But see, these are one of those risk decisions that you have to make for yourself. Do your own diligence, don't just follow me. Well, I'm going to get this going, and then we'll be back. Well, while the fruit butter is cooling down before I can take it out of the canner, I want to show you what else I've got. I got 5 quarts of salsa, but just as I was loading those into the canner, I saw that one of these bands I had on crooked, so it was never gonna seal. So I redid it, tightened it, and put it in there. So instead of processing those for 10 minutes, I did it for 15 because that's what the salsa took. But that one should be good too. But I'm tired. Coffee is no longer working. It's time to go to bed. Anyway, that one will be good to go. I got 13 half pints of the fruit butter. I did pretty good today. I will link all 3 of these recipes below, as well as some very useful websites. Because again, don't just follow me, do your own research. I'm no expert, I'm new at this. I'm going to get these out of the canner. Be right back. Well, they're all done. Ready to go to bed for the night. Thanks for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, life's an adventure. Thanks for joining me in mine. God bless. Good night, my little canning jars. Good night, everybody.